Have you ever played with a Ouija board? How did that go? Let me know down below in the comment section. Me personally, I've never played with a Ouija board. I would also never do it because I'm not stupid enough. I'm smart enough to know the only reason I should ever play with a Ouija board is if this video hits 20,000 likes, which it will never do. So I should be safe. I hope. Anyways, we're gonna be reacting to a video by the infographics show called What You Should Know Before Using a Ouija Board. So if this video does somehow miraculously end up getting 20,000 likes, I could probably use this information. So we're gonna react and see what we should know before we ever touch a Ouija board. Before we start, make sure you leave a like right now, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and go check out the infographics show down below in the description because they got a lot of interesting videos on their channel that you will surely love. Now let's get straight into it.
Imagine that your friend comes over one day and brings a Ouija board with him.
He's getting smacked across the face and kicked out of my house. That's what happens.
You both sit and start to try to contact evil spirits.
No.
Your skeptical eye watching every move the planchette makes.
I wouldn't
do
do that.
Figure out if your friend's pulling your leg. Suddenly, the planchette starts moving from the letter Z to the letter O.
Alright, at this point, I would smack my friend across the face with the Ouija board and I'd kick him and the board out of my house. But then again, at that point, it might be too late. My house is already haunted. See, don't mess around with this stuff, y'all.
Over and over again, rapidly. And after making its presence known, this spirit starts answering questions about relatives of yours with incredible accuracy. Creeped out, the next day you get curious and Google the name Zozo.
Zozo?
Only to discover thousands of similar accounts written across various message boards online.
Wait, I think I've heard of this name before. Isn't this a pretty well-known
demon?
Apparently what he does, I'm sure he's gonna mention it, he pretends to be a nice spirit through the Ouija board, but guess what? He's not that nice. Apparently, actually contacting a nice spirit with a Ouija board doesn't happen. At least, you know, not in movies and all that stuff. I'm not saying Ouija boards actually work. I'm just saying, don't go and try and figure it out. It's not worth it.
Hello and welcome to another special episode of the infographics show's greatest mysteries, the Zozo Demon. You don't have to imagine the preceding scenario because it has in fact happened to thousands of people around the world. Whether using Ouija boards, automatic writing, or various other spiritual contact techniques.
Wait, there's more than a Ouija board?
Around the world have reported contacting an entity calling itself Zozo. With the advent of the internet, people began to share their stories online.
Wait a second, so a bunch of people claim to have a common contact with the same demon, and these people don't even know each other, and they all use the same name, Zozo. Does that mean he could actually be real? What do you guys think? Leave your opinion down below in the comment section, and hey, if you haven't yet, now's the time. Leave a like or else Zozo will come knocking on your door and I don't know. Leave your fridge open. I don't know what demons do. I don't play with Ouija boards.
Each person shocked to discover that hundreds, if not thousands of others had had the same experiences as they did.
Why?
Possibly more terrifying, though, is the fact that stories about Zozo have been around for hundreds of years.
That's before the internet, guys.
One of the oldest accounts coming from Colin de Plancy's demonic encyclopedia, the Dictionary Infernal. According to the Plancy, a young girl claimed to be constantly harassed by three evil spirits, Mimi, Crapule, and Zozo. The demons would torment the girl and force her to walk on her hands or act indecent in the company of others.
Ew.
Eventually, she was exorcised successfully.
Indecent? So like, she eats with her mouth open type of stuff? Wow, these demons really are evil. Gosh darn.
Although the priest performing the rite was warned not to attempt another exorcism by the police, it's easy to discount old tales as mere superstition.
Why did the police not allow him to do an exorcism? What happened there? I feel like there's more to that story, and I'll be honest with you guys, I'll keep it 100, $1.50. I'm gonna Google this stuff after this video because I'm kinda, it's piqued my interest. It has really piqued my interest. And if it's piqued yours, make sure you subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss any future videos that might pique your interest. That's all I'm saying.
Or even to discount modern testimony as simply flights of fancy that appropriate old legends or scary stories. It's not so easy, however, to explain the massive amounts of collaborative testimony available online, especially from people surprised to discover so many others allegedly having contact with the same entity.
What do you guys think the cause of that is? Is it because Zozo is real? Or is there some other reason why all these people have the same name in mind whenever they talk about Ouija boards and stuff? Leave your theories down below in the comment section. I'm curious to see what you guys think. Me personally, since the first ever mention of him is in a book that's super old, it is possible that Somehow all these people did hear about Zozo, and you know what? I don't know.
Encounters with Zozo tend to go the same way. Contactees will be using a Ouija board or other spirit contact technique.
Let's see if I was right.
Zozo will make its presence known by spelling out its name. Typically, it will then answer questions that would be difficult for other people around.
And he's gonna act nice, right?
In an effort to gain your trust. Other times, it will simply start to spell out expletives. Contact with Zozo typically results in something tragic happening shortly after.
I think I've met Zozo before. Yeah, it was back when I was playing Call of Duty on my Xbox. He was in my voice chat.
One man claims that his wife left his daughter in the bathtub and stepped out for a moment, which was long enough for his daughter to begin drowning.
What?
After rescuing her, she was struck ill by a mysterious infection days later. Another woman claims that on the same day as her contact with Zozo, she was hit by a drunk driver. People differ on what exactly Zozo is, but whatever it is, it's clearly got a bad temper. Some say that Zozo is a demon, possibly even the ancient Mesopotamian king of wind demons, Pazuzu.
Pazuzu, we keep speaking of these names. Anyways, skip all the theories. I know exactly what Zozo is.
He's a jerk.
There, I said it.
Others believe Zozo is simply a malevolent entity that appropriated the name because of growing fear around it.
All these big words. I'm just gonna act like I know what they mean. But once again, I'm gonna keep it a $1.50. I don't know.
Yet others believe that Zozo is not a single entity, but rather a name that various evil or mischievous spirits use to scare us.
That's an interesting theory.
How scared we've become of contacting the ill-tempered Zozo. These people think that spirits may simply be having a bit of fun with us by using the name, while more evil spirits appropriate it in order to scare us.
That would actually kind of make sense, because if spirits are real and they're like this, if they're like former humans, why would they not want to have fun and mess around with people? Maybe they even have a spirit YouTube where they do upload pranks on people. Zozo prank on the human world. Gone wrong. Hit by a drunk driver.
And fear, they believe, gives the spirits power, whatever its origin. Some of Zozo's characteristics involve an attraction to the female sex, preferring contact with women over men. Zozo also seems to be attracted to people with suicidal tendencies, depression, or other psychological disorders.
That's a jerk, like I said.
Researchers claim that these people are more vulnerable to demonic influence, giving a demon more power over them, and making it easier to push them to do extreme things such as suicide or hurting or scaring others. Those who claim to have come in contact with Zozo describe sudden and intense feelings of anger, fear, depression, or generally black thoughts as they talk with Zozo. Their encounters are typically followed by seemingly bad luck. Others, though, are more severely affected, with some claiming to have suffered physical symptoms such as headaches, sleepwalking, and the appearance of marks and bruises on their body. This is all quite terrifying if true. Along with a host of believers, there are just as many skeptics, however, and the preferred tool of contact with Zozo, the Ouija board itself, is fraught with doubts.
Why? Not because it was actually a toy made by Hasbro, is it? No, there must be another reason.
For starters, it's a game manufactured by a major toy company, and many skeptics have a hard time swallowing the fact that spirits and demons are immediately accessible with a simple board game.
Or, if we use the same theory that he used about how ghosts are messing around with the human world, maybe they just noticed that thing, like this new toy, and they were like, hey, what if we actually use that toy to talk to people? I think that will make sense.
There may be some merit to that point, but then again, if the world of spirits and demons is real, then who says they need some special archaic and mysterious method to contact them?
That's also true.
But that's hardly the only criticism leveled at the Ouija board. In 1972, psychologists ran an experiment to see if people could have paranormal spirit contact experiences through nothing more than human will. Basically, they wanted to see if it was all just in our heads.
How?
For the study, they made up a fictional person named Philip Aylesford and then invited a group of people to run a seance in order to summon his ghost. The group eventually made contact with the entity, becoming convinced that they could feel Philip's presence, hearing knocking sounds coming from the table, felt the table physically vibrate, and at one point saw the table tilt up onto two legs. All the while, they had no idea that Philip had been completely made up.
Ooh, imagine being one of these people. That would kind of be awkward when you're like, yeah, the ghost, he talked to me. He said this and that and such and so. And then the guys there, the scientists, whatever they are, they're like, okay, cool. Philip ain't real. We made him up. You're capping.
This story proved just how susceptible we can be to believing in the paranormal with just the smallest amount of prodding. Yet, if the world of spirits and demons is real, what's to say that a mischievous spirit or evil demon didn't simply respond to the seance, knowing full well what was taking place?
That's true.
Reveling in the frustration the entire affair would cause.
That's
true. The participants were told there was no such person as the one they claimed to be speaking to.
He's got a point.
And demons be any different than we are? Basically, why wouldn't a spirit troll a scientific study way back in 1972?
I didn't even think of that. He has a point, and maybe he's right. Once again, what's your opinion? Leave it down below in the comment section. Hey, this is your final chance, guys. If you haven't left a like, your fridge is gonna be left open by Zozo, 100%. Would I ever say such a thing if it weren't true? Maybe. But I also might not have said it if it wasn't true. So, you know, just leave a like. No reason to find out.
Other skeptics point at the ideomotor effect as an explanation for contact with Zozo and other paranormal entities. The ideomotor effect is the subconscious and involuntary movement of muscles, typically to a very small and likely imperceptible degree. This effect has been well documented, most famously by the famed Michael Faraday, who built a device to show how the ideomotor effect was responsible for the table-turning fad that swept supernatural belief London. Today, skeptics claim that Ouija board communications are nothing more than the subconscious mind using the ideomotor effect to push the planchette around and give us the answers we're seeking. Zozo may well be simply a product of our own subconscious pushing a planchette on a Ouija board with movements so imperceptible that even we ourselves are fooled into believing a supernatural explanation.
But then how would you explain actual words being formed by the movement? Or does that not happen?
Yet that doesn't explain the global internet phenomenon, which has seen thousands of people all claiming contact with the exact same entity.
Thousands of people can be wrong. That's why you're wrong.
Skeptics point out the possibility of a mass psychological trend amongst all these believers, or that potentially every single one of them is simply making up a tall tale.
7 billion answers people could be true,
but with just as much hard evidence for either of those two answers as there is for Zozo, that being 0. There's a special kind of irony that the belief Zozo is not real requires just as much factless faith as the belief that it is. Maybe despite our warnings, you're still interested in contacting the legendary Zozo demon.
Alright, so all in all, that was pretty interesting. We learned a lot. I'm serious. I actually learned stuff that I could probably impress other people with. So if you learned something as well, make sure you leave a like and go check out the Infographics Show channel down below if you want to learn more stuff. And hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and once again, if this video gets 20,000 likes, I will try to play with an actual Ouija board. That's a promise, but only if we get 20,000 likes. Now go check out my other videos if you can't get enough of me for some reason, and hopefully I will see all of you next time. Dark signing out.